Hello farmers, welcome back to Farm Tips Prime, the go-to channel for all things agriculture and farming. Today, I have an exciting topic to dive into. But before I get started, if you are passionate about farming and want to stay in the loop with the latest tips, techniques, and community support, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Join our growing community of farm lovers. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our valuable content. Here at Farm Tips, we are dedicated to bringing you practical insights that can elevate your farming game. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our goal is to share knowledge that empowers you on your farming journey. By subscribing, you become part of a supportive community of farmers who exchange ideas, share experiences, and help each other grow. We value each and every one of you, and your support keeps this channel thriving. Before we jump into today's content, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to our existing subscribers. Your engagements, comments, and enthusiasm drive us to create better and more valuable content. Thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome aboard. We are excited to have you. So if you're ready to level up your farming skills and be part of a fantastic farming community, hit that subscribe button now. Let's grow together. Alright, let's go into today's topic, how to start goat farming. This is part 1 and I will be sharing it in parts step by step such that we learn together. Some of you came into my inbox asking me that since now you have an idea of starting up, but how do I start? By the way, this is a very complicated question and it is not easy to answer, but what I can only say is that have the vision. In whichever business that you do, you need to have a vision. You need to know what exactly you want. Let's say somebody wakes up today and he says he wants to do farming and a serious one. What do you have to put in your mind first? First and foremost, I want you to think about the land. You cannot do farming without land. And how do you acquire land? It is either by buying it or maybe by hiring it. So there are two ways of getting the land. How big is the land? I know you will also ask about it. There I will say that if you want to do farming, the land you have determines the number of animals to have on that farm. Or the animals that you have in your mind determines the acreages that you want. And that as well determines the system that you want to use. I don't know whether I'm making myself clear into that, but I'm trying my level best to make sure that you guys understand. For example, let me say I want to do 100 goats. Someone might ask me, how many acres do I need to start? But I will ask you, which system do you want to use? For example, I will say, if you have an acre of land and you want to do open grazing or free range, like letting your animals come in, sleep here, and they go to the field and eat. That is what we call open range or free range. So that one, an acre can accommodate 13 goats. But if you're in good vegetation places, like northern part of the country, you might even do 20. Why? Because there are those strong grasses which are nutritious and they are plenty. But if that is happening in Western Uganda, you can only do 10 because many people have cleared their land. And that's why before you think of starting a project, you also need to think about of where you're going to put that project. Because if you're doing it in Western Uganda, where every grass has been cleared, and maybe it has been overgrazed on, and even have patches where there is no grass, don't think about having 13 or plus. You see how things happen? Do you see how things come up? So your answer of how to start, I think you understand me very well. So at the land, if you want to do zero grazing means animals being in one place, plant the grass and harvest. Then after harvesting, give it to animals. Do silage, do all what you know. So my dear, the beginning of saying how do I start? Start with the land, and if you're doing that zero grazing of planting feeds and give it to animals and maybe process some feeds, just make sure that an acre is feeding 50 animals. When you're there wondering on how to start, look at the land you have. Look at the system you want to use. If you want to use zero grazing, I have talked about 50 animals. If you want to do free range, think about 13 goats. Or if you're in Western Uganda or other areas that doesn't have very good vegetation as per now, then look at 10 goats. I think I have tried to answer your question very well. Actually, your beginning will determine a lot. I will be giving you this in episodes such that I don't leave you behind. So apart from the land, now we will need the housing for the animals. When you're starting to do what we call goat farming, I want you to understand me very well. I'm not discouraging you from building expensive houses for your animals, but I want you to have the mental sense of why are you doing goat farming. And the sense of doing goat farming is making profits out of the project. Then after making profits, you can advance. I want you to understand what your animals want. Goats don't want raised houses, like how you guys think that goats' houses are supposed to be raised. No, that's not the case. What goats want is the hygiene. What goats want is the ventilation. That's why when you're starting goat farming, I wouldn't want you to invest a lot of money in housing. Some of you who are watching this video might bear me a witness. Some of you have built houses of even more than 100 million, but most of you didn't have money to invest in the stock. And remember, our whole business is about stock. Which stock? How much stock do you have? And which kind of animals are you stocking? But you people, you're investing a lot of money in the housing when you don't have stock. Yet basically, what we need is stock because these animals will bring the money back, not the expensive houses. So these are the parts I want you to understand very well. Make sure you have enough exercising yard for the animals to let them enjoy, and that's what exactly they want. That's what is required in the goat's house. Never and never put a house without an exercising yard, and it should be enough for your goats. The second part is shelter. Make sure there is shelter where they will go whenever it rains. You don't want your goats to be rained on because it disturbs them. Then also, make a simple spraying yard for your goats. Since our project is all about kids, then you will require to have a kids pen because the project that don't have kids, that means that it will not prosper. It will not be bringing in money. The kids' pen should be a bit raised because they are always affected by fleas, and fleas are very deadly. So by raising the kids' pen a bit, it decreases the chances of having fleas in animals, and as well put comfortable grass such that the kids feel comfortable and they sleep very well. But the house is supposed to be well ventilated. So those people that have been a victim of investing money in the house and putting less money in the stock, I'm very sorry. Don't break the houses. But just know it was a mistake. Just know they made you spend money on irrelevant things. Some of you have been told that if the house is ventilated, the animals are going to die. There is no rain that kills goats, but rain increases the infections in the area. And remember, our goats always stay outside. They feed free range, so they can get infections all over. But the little uncomfort of rain, goats will run into the shelter and stay there for some time. Then later, they can run and go back. So basically, I'm trying to emphasize on not spending a lot of money into the housing. You can do a house of 7 million and you put in animals of 30 million. That makes sense than spending 50 or 100 million on housing and you put in the goats of 7 million. When will you get the money back? So you guys, don't spend a lot of money on housing. Just spend your money on stock. Well, that wraps up today's episode on Farm Tips Prime. I hope you found this information helpful and insightful. Remember, farming is not just a job, it's a way of life, and we are here to support you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our community of passionate farmers. Your support means the world to us, and it keeps Farm Tips Prime growing. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's topic or share any additional tips you have. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section below. Stay Stay tuned for our next video. Trust me, you don't want to miss it out. So until next time, happy farming, and I will catch you in the next episode of Farm Tips Prime. Once again, a big thank you to our incredible community. Your support fuels our passion for sharing valuable farm insights. Keep cultivating, keep growing. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.